Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So let's have a look at the current hatcher. It's monsters that are good versus the Herald of Death. And then all of these monsters in one or the other of their forms, they have Null Wind or No Block, and so you can use any of them in there. And then kind of the two monsters that are the best outside of the mission are here. This is a Rose Monstriker, the evolution version. You could use her in Akala or in Tsukuyomi. And then the Ascension version is good too. You can use her in either Kushinada or Kushinada 0. Towards the end of when I was farming Kushinada, this Ascension version was one of my main characters, so really like her. And then the other really usable monster outside of this mission is Verdandi Ascension. She's got the double null and then the crazy bump combo that fills the screen. So yeah, you could pull this hatcher, maybe ideally hope for one of those two. But yeah. And then I'm going to bring 4 of these monsters through the quest, just so that we can have a look. Specifically at how Null Win and then Null Block can work. Alrighty, so I'm using Rose Monstriker Evolution. And then she has a Pierce, so we'll just hit our guys with bump combos and work our way up. And then next is Ribbits, the Frog Prince Evolution version. And then he's got Null Wind. So that gas mask, when he shoots out the wind, that kind of suction wind, Ribbits will not be affected, so that's pretty cool. And then next I'm using a Pavarti Ascension. She has a Pierce with Null Block. And then here we will hit the gauge so that she can go through the block and then work her way to the top. But of course with characters with no block on the gauge, you can miss the gauge and then use the blocks as a normal character would. So yeah, it's kind of a flexible ability. And yeah, depending on your situation, then you can use it for that. And then finally I'm using Chou Hakkai. I think it's the Ascension version. And then he's got no block. No block only. Alright, so that is my team. And then actually this team, to play with this team, it takes longer than it does with my normal farming team of all drop monsters. So I can't really recommend this team to use in this mission. But if you wanted to use like, 1 or 2 of these characters, then I think that could be a good idea. And then of these 4, I would say Pavarti Ascension is the best character. She's got very high stats, she's got no block, which I think is more important than no wind in this mission. And then it's got a strong strike shot and a very strong bump combo. But the bump combo is homing, so you're going to want to get rid of the homing absorbers before you hit Pavarti, if you can. Okay, so turtle stages are especially welcome here because it's more chances to grab candy, and then they're a little bit easier to kind of make the candy bigger than the regular stages. So we'll kind of slowly take down guys, but not too quickly, because we do want to build up our candy until they're at their 3rd level. Ooh. Regular bound there kind of scared me, but... Alright, so here I see the chances are good that I'm going to take down the 2 guys by accident. So I'll just go ahead and grab both candies, even though one of them is not at the full count yet. Just to ensure that we get something. Okay. And in this stage, this takes a little while, I found. Because the homing absorbers, they kind of have a lot of hit points. And then the guy in the middle, he's got a lot of hit points. But this is good because it gives us more time to charge up those candies around. Okay. Excellent. And then here I had a brain fart. I wanted to hit the gauge, but I missed the gauge, so the null block ability did not... No, I wanted to hit the gauge, so I would go through the blocks, but I missed the gauge, and then I, you know, got locked up in the blocks, so... Oh well. Yeah, the thing about the null block ability is that it's so new, and then so few characters have it, it's kind of easy to forget that you do have it, and so you'll forget about how to use it effectively throughout the mission. So when you are using null block characters, it's something to try to keep in mind as much as possible. Okay, we'll grab the candy. And we'll take down the guy in the middle. Oh, another thing about the candy is that it does restore your hit points like hearts. And so if you're very low on hit points and you're afraid of dying, then go ahead and pick up that level 1 or level 2 candy. Because it's better to stay alive than it is to die trying to get to a higher level of candy. Okay, we'll take down this guy down there. Okay, we're going to miss the gauge here so that we can use the blocks to kind of make our travel area shorter, so that we get more hits on the boss. Okay, I really want to take down that homing absorber. Alright, I think we will go through here. We're going to use the null block and then go through the blocks to hit everybody's bump combo. Okay, not quite taking down the homing absorber, but we'll keep working on it. Alright, so our hit points have gone below half, so now would be a good time to grab that level 3 candy. Whoops. Yeah, but as you can see, I'm just kind of playing through the stage and I'm not really stalling a whole lot. I really do think I'm a bigger believer of getting through the mission and getting lots of plays of the mission. More than trying to get like the maximum amount of candy per run. Which, by the way, is capped at 30. But I don't really keep that in mind when I play through here. I just grab what I can and then just move on to the next run. Alright, so there too I missed Rose Monstriker's gauge so that she could take advantage of the blocks in order to get more hits on the boss. Alright, I see that candy in the upper right hand corner, so we'll keep an eye on that and try not to grab it by accident. Alright, so we missed the gauge there too for Pavarti so that she could again use the blocks. And yeah, I find that when I'm using characters with no block, I'll miss the gauge actually maybe about 50% of the time. So yeah, that versatility is pretty great. Okay, so I see the candy's at full power, but I don't need to grab it quite yet, so we will just take down the boss instead. Okay, but I saw a chance to grab it here and also take down the other guy, so we'll do that. Okay, very strong homing. Excellent. Alright, and then here is the last stage. And then this one, it's a little bit difficult to do damage to the boss because of the blocks on the sides of her. When both are up, that really limits what you can do. Unless your guys have no block. Then you have a few more avenues open to you. And then There is such a thing where you use pierce monsters and then blocks, where it's called a loop hit, where you kind of get stuck in a loop in between two blocks, and then your movement, it goes as fast as if the enemy were not there, but it's still registering hits every time. And so it's also called like a pierce match shot, where you can do millions and millions of damage. But I've tested it here, and then that area in between the two blocks when they're both up, it's too narrow, so you can't do a loop hit there, unfortunately. And then, yeah, we just used Rivet's Meteor Strike Shot, sort of clear the field a little bit. And then here we'll use Pavarti's Strike Shot, which is pretty darn strong. And yeah, I used some strike shots in order to get rid of the homing absorbers, since they do kind of a lot of damage. Alrighty. So we're almost there, but I do see my candy sort of building up as well. I guess we're just going to ignore the one on the right and just clear the stage, so. Okay. So that was a quick run-through of the Herald stage. Not too difficult, but with the combination of the blocks that go up and down, and then trying to build up the levels of your candy, makes you think a little bit. And it plays differently from pretty much any other stage that I've played. So it was pretty fun for that, actually. Alrighty. So again, I don't recommend this team member for member, but you can take one or two from there to sort of augment your Maxlux team in order to get farming here. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Take care.